I tucked this church in the woods early this past spring. I was going to make a whole little fairy village. Well, the mosquitoes and the mayflies had other plans for me. And now, here it is, fall, and I'm going to be creating another little magical cottage witchy room, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. I'm working on something top secret. Well, it won't be a secret. You'll see it soon. But whatever I'm working on is kind of wrinkly right now. So I got my trusty steamer out, just waiting for it to warm up. And I'm going to steam away these wrinkles. And then I'm going to show you what I'm doing upstairs in Emma's bedroom. It's a surprise. I had another steamer that threw out just a lot of steam and it worked well. This one is kind of a press and steam, so every once in a while I do get some water spots, but that's okay. It is certainly working though. Can anybody guess what I'm working on? Anyone? Anyone? Here's a hint in some of my old videos. This is part of a costume that I created for a masquerade ball. I'll show you in a moment. I am putting the drawers back into the dresser here. I wanted to show you something. This is the difference of old furniture or quality furniture to today's furniture. The guides for the drawer, made with wood. Everything is made with wood. There's even some old wallpaper liner here, but I love seeing that. Solid piece of furniture. I wanted to show you the sheets here. I do believe they are seconds. I don't know the brand. I'm going to see if I can save the tag, but the pattern on the fitted sheet goes the opposite direction. As an OCD woman, do you know how much that bothered me when I opened up the package and kept trying to make it fit the correct way, but it didn't. And I don't know. I think with pillowcases too, there's usually left and right, at least some that I've purchased. Well, these both are the same direction, so some point up, some point down. Once again, I dealt with it. And I don't expect these to last long. They're not super quality sheets, but the color green was perfect, and I went with it. So a little quick overview of how I made this. This was a prom dress that I found at Goodwill or Savers. Loved the color. I've loved periwinkle my whole life. This is a little bit deeper tone. And I then found a black dress. This was a full black dress, and from what I remember, this was the back, and it had these loops already. Now, I just added this string a couple days ago to pull the front together again. I think I had a black velvet string that is now MIA, because I made this probably in 2009, I think, or maybe 2008. But this was a black dress. This was the back. I ended up just cutting it up the back until I got to these loops. And then I found this really pretty finishing ribbon that to me looked regal. This was for the Eras of Elegance masquerade ball, where people were dressed from the 1700s up until the late 1800s. And I just sewed it all the way around to the back. I tied this tight just to make it fit the mannequin. And I wore it off the shoulder. And then I also finished it all the way around the front and around the wrists. And then I had these shoes from years ago up in the loft, so I brought those out. And then for the cauldron, I was going to bring down the bubbles that I've used before in this cauldron and put the little white lights, but a lot of them are glass, and I really can't do that with Emma. So I'm going to see if I can find the iridescent bubbles in plastic, and then I can put the lights in there on a timer. Now, while I was working on this, I started thinking I might as well make this a little kind of like a cottage witch's bedroom. And I'm not going to go juvenile. I want to do this a little bit more elevated, since this could also be a guest bedroom when Emma's not here with us. But I had this book I picked up the other day for free at our local swap shop at the dump, Cottage Witchery. And I still have to go through it, but there's some really cute recipes in here and things to make a house a home. And once again, the coloring is perfect with the greens. I'm going to use this in here as part of the decor. I still need to get 2 lamps and some accessories. And I noticed when I came up, Emma must have got up in the middle of the night and grabbed her little bag of snacks, because that was on the kitchen counter last night. So little night walking. And some of you might remember Hector. He has been with me for I don't know how many years, and he finally has a place to stay. So Hector will be down here also as part of the little cottage little decor here. I don't know if he'll be year round, because he usually just makes an appearance in the fall and then goes back in hiding until the next year. But we still have to accessorize here. I don't know if I'll be doing that today or not. And then I will be also getting, I have another lamp, I think, in the loft for over here, but I might want to do something a little more decorative. I'm not sure. I really, really thought I had my mother-in-law's lamps, but I mentioned in one of the past videos, they must have got donated because they needed to be rewired and they were old. But so this is where we are so far with Emma's bedroom, and have this little rug with the blues and the greens. I was just picking up a pillow at the same time, and I got this little pillow. This was kind of the start of bringing in some brown into the room in my happy era, and it has the periwinkle, the green, and the little bit of brown, and I thought that will be perfect to tie in with the brown dresser. And I mentioned earlier in the video that this was my mother-in-law's dresser when she was a little girl. So I love that it's coming full circle. You know, Emma's not a little girl, she's 26, but I love how it's coming together. I ended up doing plates on just one side right now. I tried to do it, you know, on either side, and I figured, well, I'm going to do it this way, and when I find more plates, I'll keep adding. And I'm just going to wait until I find just the right one. So we'll probably get another plate for here. On the other sides, I want to get some tinier ones. And I showed in a close-up video how perfect this picture of the lilacs go here in the room. And yeah, we're doing it. I had this green tablecloth already. I had this already. I layered the 2. At first, it was in another photo or picture. This does have, where is it here? This does have the same periwinkle color in it, but I've mentioned before, I don't like a lot of patterns together. So I ended up covering that for just a pop of color. And no need to mention this, but the window's partially closed now. It was nice and open last night. The three of us woke to a very strong smell of skunk. And some of you may remember, it was last year this time, or was it the year before? Willow went out and got sprayed by a skunk. I'm going to look at my journal and see what the date was, because I'm pretty sure it was the end of September, just like this. But yes, we're getting there. Once again, I don't know if I'm going to decorate here today or not, or what I'll add, because I also want to do some cooking and make a nice roast or something later. And then here in the bathroom, I still have to steam this shower curtain, but it will probably happen over time while using it. I took the frame off of this painting, hoping it would fit the new oil painting I had of the now dubbed ancestor Caleb's story. It didn't. But then I started thinking, well, I'm going to save it because I love the colors. It reminds me of my trip to Amsterdam with all the windmills. And I loved the colors. Now, this was not the inspiration piece. The inspiration piece was this rug that has a blue and some browns, and it's almost like more of an oatmeal actually. And I grabbed this first, then I grabbed the shower curtain, saying that was perfect. And then I did show, if I haven't already, how these towels match perfectly. I might not even use the other part of the video now that I'm doing this right now, but the color is perfect. These might have come from, I don't know if this was Target maybe, Target or Walmart. I have a video showing picking things up. Maybe I'll insert some of that here. And I have a little side stand that I still have to paint. It was aqua blue from several homes ago Emma had in her bedroom. I'm going to paint that up. It's partially painted because I started and then got distracted and didn't realize that we had an inset toilet paper holder. Completely forgot. So I need to get another for that. I might just get a standing one, or I'll get one to attach to the wall. And then I still need to get a mirror for here because the floral one that I made is just too big. It came down right here to the sink. I had a shelf here before, or actually the previous owner had a shelf here, which was perfect. Emma kept her soap there, her toothbrush. So I'm going to be getting a smaller mirror for this wall. I might even have one in the loft. I'm not sure yet. I got to go look. So the little cottage mirror that I made is now in her bedroom. But there we go. Little by little, but it's definitely at a state where it's now a functional bedroom yet again with all the little forest creatures. They missed being in their bedroom too. Right now, I'm going to bring in quite a few of the herbs. I hang them all over, so why not hang them upstairs in a window where Emma's going to be. So here we have some of the sage. I have some English ivy. We have oregano here. And then I'm going to collect a little bit of the rosemary. I do enjoy coming out here to grab the rosemary when I'm prepping Thanksgiving meals. So I'll probably leave the smaller plant and kind of work away this one because in our region, rosemary does not live through the winter, so we lose it. I'm going to grab some chive, not to hang, but I'm going to dry it and put some more in a jar. And I've been using quite a bit on some of our meals. And I'll dry some more basil. I let it go to flower because I have so much, but since I'm hanging it for decor and use, I'll grab some more of that. And I have a lot of lemon balm over here that I will also trim and cut back. But what a morning. What a morning. I did grab some of the sweet pea pods. I have a few more that I'm going to let dry naturally outside. And I'm going to see if I can use this year's seeds for next year's batch of sweet peas, which I will put elsewhere. Now I have decided a lot of this garden is going to be flower garden next year. I'm going to put some garlic in, I believe, but I'm going to do mainly flowers here. I'm going to do herbs out front, so when I'm in the kitchen, I can look out the window, look at the herbs, and it's no further to go get herbs out front than it is to come here. Vegetables mixed in with the flowers, just like I did at Groton House. Those majority flowers with herbs tucked in. I have what I need right now. We'll go from there. I'm going to wash and dry the herbs now, and I decided to take out some of my dish drying pads that I like to use, and I'm going to cover it with a white tea towel to put the herbs on top of. But this just helps things wick away the moisture a lot faster, and I like doing it this way. And then when I'm doing some other things around the house, the herbs are drying, and then I can tie them together. While the herbs are drying, one of the things I decided to do was slice up some more jalapenos. I made up the mixture of the vinegar, the water, the sugar, the salt, which is on my website, and I'm making one more batch. This might be the final batch, I'm not sure. There are more growing, but we'll see what the weather has in store for us. While I'm standing here, I thought I would show you the garland that I've now added, not only the hydrangea, but I also added the lily leaves that I collected last week. It's just the same thing as I did over the fireplace mantle in that garland, where I used the iris leaves that were dry. So I wanted to use something a little bit larger over the sink. And now it's October, or very close to. I can turn my pumpkin around now, and I'll put the lights on tonight. So I'm going to get busy. I'm going to wrap up bunches of these herbs, and I'm going to tie them up with some string, and then I will add some ribbon, and I will show you the end result in a moment. I've decided to keep the oregano and the English thyme off of this little topper. They just drop too many small leaves, and I usually keep them hanging in the butler's pantry, so that's where I'm going to put those. I will tie them together in little bundles, but they're going to go on the tension rod I have in there, and that's how I've been doing it for years. It works out great, and then once I take them down, I can put a little dish right under them and take the leaves off and put them in the jars. Now upstairs, since we have a carpet, it could get messy if they just drop, and these really stay together well just for drying purposes. So the rosemary, I can take this down and bring it downstairs afterwards and chop it and put it away. It will be fine. So that's what I am doing right now. I'm just kind of alternating them. I put the lemon balm on the outside, kind of as jabots. And these are definitely going to shrink as they dry, and I can keep adding to it, or I can just make it a little bit thicker right now. I still have the basil to put on here, but I'm gonna let the bees have their way with it for the rest of the day. And I'm gonna put some green ribbon, I think, in here as well. I have some beautiful sage green ribbon that I picked up 2 years ago. I used it on a Christmas tree, and I'm just gonna put some little bows and ribbons just to soften the look. I don't know how much I have it left here, not a lot, but I think that will be fun to do. So I'm gonna add that now. I'm gonna do loose bows so that if I want to move them, I can. So I think I will do from the corner. I'm looking at the corner of my counter to the outside of a handle so that all of them are the same. It smells so good. Oh. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna go hang it and see how it looks. And then I will add a little bit more here and there. And then as the holidays change, so will the room, just a little bit.
It's a bit misty out. I don't know when it happened, but now it's pitch black at 5:45 in the morning. I'm hoping to hear the owl. He's been making sound.
Today I'll be focusing on the barn for part of the day. I'll be heading into the business that made our floors. I'm bringing a sample to them, and I'm going to place an order for the remaining amount and get that into production. They open at 8, but first I have to finish my coffee, then I'll hit the road. So I'm carrying in one sample just so that they can do a color match. They're going to call me when they have a sample made so I can confirm. And some of you asked what our wood was. Ours is Eastern White Pine, and our color is called Special Walnut, and then there is a tung oil over it, but they use something different now, so I have to see how this color matches. But let me show you what's going on in the bathroom.
So let me show you what's happening today, which is Friday. Contractor's upstairs just finishing something up, and this mirror is going to come down because we're going to be doing hopefully a built-in cabinet. These fixtures are going to either be lowered, or if we can't repurpose them, I will get one that goes on the countertop. But behind here could be a beam. Our house, the old 1790s part of the house, ends somewhere around here, I believe. I can look at it from the other side of this wall. We are concerned, or I was concerned, oh, here's my hand, hello, hello. My concern was if the beam is here, I won't be able to do the cabinet that I found out and about shopping a couple months ago. And I might just be able to do a mirror. Maybe that's why they only have a mirror here, because upstairs they tried to put a built-in cabinet and there was a beam there. So they're going to do an exploratory hole today and see if in fact that house beam, let me just show you right here, which is, this is where the old part of the house ended. And then this was at one point of many different transitions, that area down there was a bathroom. And then when they added the other portion of this house on in the 1970s, they put in the built-in tub, they extended this whole area, and that's where the two rooms are married. So short story long, they're just gonna let me know if we can do the built-in cabinet. I'm just hoping the beam is not right there. If it is, I will repurpose this mirror and most likely paint it out. Now, this is just a personal preference when it comes to things in spaces I like to live in. There's a lot of pattern going on here, and with ADHD, if you have it, you know a lot of pattern, a lot of clutter can really kind of wreak havoc sometimes, even on thought process. So I come in here and I don't just see a pretty bathroom, I see a lot of pattern. And I'm gonna point it out here. We have 1 on the walls, 2 here, 3, 4 for the floor, 5, and then she has the sponging on the walls. Oh, did we all do that in the 2000s? Yes. Was I on 5? And then over here we have 6, 7 patterns. And I'm looking forward to toning it down with our wood floors. I might do a wainscoting around. We're gonna have, this tub's coming out. I'm getting a little bit smaller one. I'm doing the same one I had at Groton. I loved it. So I might have more space in the back here to possibly put a shelf for towels, because even though we have this built-in cabinet here, it's not as big as it looks. It houses the whole area for our heating. So it's very shallow, actually. But they're gonna be taking off the molding and putting the floor on, and then a new molding will probably go back, but yeah. So this is all gonna be gutted starting next week. We're gonna do a glass shower, 2 sides glass shower, new tile, new floor, going to try to repurpose the fixtures if possible, and we're gonna go from there. We'll know a lot more next week.
Yeah, there's a post.
Oh, of course there is. And the wire.
You know what? That's so close. What is that post for?
A big.
But it's not a big end beam like I was thinking.
No, it looks like more of just a nailer.
Can we frame it
It
in?
is a nail.
I think so. Yep.
So that's really good news. Now I get to order the built-in medicine cabinet for that wall. Now let's skip back to the barn. Finally got upstairs. There's no stairs yet, but Ben and I climbed a ladder because they just finished the floor, and I want to show you a little bit of this space.
Well, here we are. We are upstairs in the barn. This moved along quickly. Quickly? So I'm not going to show you the view yet, but the cupola will be right there. There's hornets in here right now. And I want you to see one of the views. There you go. And then once the leaves drop, it'll be hard to see. There's another mountain here. But yeah. I came back out to grab some basil and tomatoes and some more peppers. And we've got 2 little bees that say, nope, you are not taking this basket yet. So I came out so I just came back out to try to grab the 1 jalapeno I have in here. And yeah, I mean, they're busy. And I thought it was under the tomatoes. Let's see here. It's in here somewhere. 1 jalapeno. There it is. All right, so I'm going to leave this basket out here. There's plenty of other flowers, but hey, if they like this basket of basil, oh, there they go. I'm still gonna leave it out here. Oh, he's coming back. Gotta look out for our little bees.
Well, kindred spirits, thank you once again for joining me today, and I hope to see you next week. And maybe I'll have a midweek video again. I don't know. We'll have to see. Bye now.